Good evening, I'm Jerry Blunder, and welcome to the first ever Truth Optional News Weekly Recap, where we gather the week's top stories so you can catch up on global chaos without having to scroll yourself into emotional exhaustion. This week has been a bold reminder that the world still refuses to behave like a functioning simulation.
Good evening, I'm Jerry Blunder, reporting the news in the only tone appropriate for modern civilization. Mild disbelief in tonight's top story. Billionaire heir Neil has purchased a $45 million estate originally commissioned for Louis XV's mistress, proving, once again, that while history doesn't repeat itself, extremely wealthy men certainly do. The home comes fully furnished with rococo decor, chandeliers, and a faint smell of unresolved monarchy. Historians say it's the perfect getaway for any modern billionaire burdened by too much money and not enough self-awareness. The estate includes 12 bedrooms, 14 bathrooms, and exactly 0 places where an honest thought has ever occurred. It's comforting to know that even in 2025, the truly wealthy remain committed to preserving history, specifically the parts involving mistresses and irresponsible spending. This segment is sponsored by Prestige Past Lives, the only service that helps billionaires discover which royal figure they were in a previous life. All results are guaranteed to be flattering. You will never, under any circumstances, be told you were a peasant. Use promo code CROWN for 10% off your next ego validation ceremony. And that's the world today, a place where history lives on, not through wisdom or lessons, but through incredibly expensive real estate and men with too much free time.
Good evening. I'm Jerry Blunder, and in today's episode of Are We Seriously Doing This?, President Donald Trump has proposed renaming the Department of Defense to the Department of War. A change experts say could cost up to $2 billion, because apparently rebranding is more expensive than war itself. Sources say the cost includes updating signs, seals, uniforms, letterheads, and most importantly, finding a new acronym that still sounds intimidating when shouted in congressional hearings. This segment is sponsored by Rebrand Nation TM, the only agency specializing in renaming government institutions whenever someone gets bored of the old ones. From the IRS to the Department of Financial Vibes, Rebrand Nation TM is here to remind you, if you can't fix a system, just change the sign in front of it. $2 billion for a new name. At this rate, the next administration may rename democracy itself, assuming they can afford the logo. I'm Jerry Blunder. And remember, truth is optional, but bureaucracy is eternal. Good evening. I'm Jerry Blunder reporting on international affairs, or as I like to call it, the world's most expensive group project. In today's top story, Russia has announced it is ready to support Venezuela against U.S. moves, which is surprising because no one remembered they were still keeping score. Officials say this partnership is based on shared strategic interests, which is diplomatic language for, we both dislike the same people. Experts also note that every time nations pledge support like this, the globe collectively rolls its eyes, usually because it means something expensive, dramatic, and ultimately pointless is about to happen. This segment is sponsored by Allied for Now TM, the world's leading provider of short-term international alliances. With Allied for Now TM, you can have a fully functional geopolitical partnership ready in minutes. No commitment, no long-term planning, and no awkward conversations after the conflict ends. In summary, the world continues to behave exactly like you think it does, loudly, expensively, and always several decades behind emotional maturity. I'm Jerry Blunder, and remember, truth is optional, but international drama is eternal. Good evening. I'm Jerry Blunder with breaking news from the ongoing musical chairs we call modern warfare. Ukrainian Special Operations Forces have reportedly destroyed one of Putin's $1.2 billion, quote, crown jewel weapons in a single strike, which is impressive considering most of my belongings break long before I hit the $1 billion mark. Analysts say this could be a major blow to Russia's military pride, which, much like their economy, is fragile, expensive, and very sensitive to sudden impacts. Meanwhile, the Ukrainian team responsible will now have to deal with excessive high fives and the pressure of having peaked extremely early in the year. This segment is sponsored by Budget Boom TM, the official supplier of affordable explosions for global powers who keep losing the expensive stuff. Whether it's a billion-dollar missile, a prototype tank, or national dignity, if it can blow up, Budget Boom TM can help you do it for less. In conclusion, a $1.2 billion weapon met a $20,000 solution, reminding us once again that in modern warfare, cost and competence rarely hang out together. I'm Jerry Blunder, and remember, truth is optional, but explosions are forever.